So, how are you today? Are you full of energy?
Yes.
Yes. If not, then let's make sure that you are. I have a question for you before we start. How many of you have your own startup or company? Yay! So maybe half of the people. So this presentation is a bit more for you, and also for those who don't have it yet, there's some good insights that it's better to know already before you start. So, one thing I want you to know, like, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to use, or you don't need to, but you should use Twitter. These are, maybe at least for my presentation, one of the most important handles. The first one is me, personally. NurtUp is my company. And the next one is this event. So if you tweet anything with those, I'm sure Puska Promotion will retweet them, so you get a bit more visibility. But I'm supposed to tell you about our success story, which is a funny thing that the moment Mimosa asked me, "Hey, can you come and tell your success story?" My reaction was like, "Oh, what success story? What do you mean?" It's just like, "But you know, you've been doing this and this awesome stuff." And I'm like, actually, that sounds true. Because success doesn't always look like this. A lot of people think it is, but it's not. I can tell you, it feels like this. And it looks like that. So when Mimosa asked me, it's like probably where's my pointer there? Somewhere here. So it might not feel like that you are successful at the moment. But by talking with people, you might realize it's actually true. I've been doing cool stuff and we are going somewhere. And so how many actually of you think that success is that easy, that you wake up in the morning, and now I'm gonna be a rich person. Oh, there's one at least. I hope that's true, but unfortunately, most of the time it's not. Not even when all the movies are trying to make you think so. So you have to hang in there. But about NurtUp. So when we started our company a bit more than a year ago, before we started a company, we wanted a cafe. The idea was that the cafe would be in a way that people would come there, engage intellectually, they would do something else that, just drink the coffee. It was an idea of, how to say it, it's, where you grow as a person and help others to achieve their dreams. So that was the idea. Then after a lot of talking, we're thinking, no, actually, having an own cafe is surprisingly difficult. And we're not so keen about the coffee or the stuff. We are only interested about what's happening there. So we developed our first game. Looked like this. It was a really cool prototype. You can see, or I don't know how much you can see, but they were made of cardboard, printed by my mom. We cut it out nicely with scissors, and we made a game out of it. We tested with people, not only friends, just actually one of the first public events, and people liked it. We got good feedback, and even though they were made, it was kind of like in the lean startup, people say about the minimum viable product. That was ours. So you don't have to straight away go ahead and order some expensive cards. No, you can make it yourself once, and it worked well. Then the story continues. This picture is from last year, the same event as today. We were in Haaga. We ended up coming to the event. We had our own booth, and of course, we were also participating in the pinching competition. And guess what happened? We won the competition. So that's my business partner and partner in life, Daniel. He was doing the pitch, and this time I'm doing the talk. But because we ended up in the event. We pitched. We even won it. We got a lot of attention. And what happened after that is that we were asked by Hajni to come to another pitching session, a private one, where we told our story, our idea, what is our business about. And that time, it was for Nordic. Nordic was organizing an accelerator. And it was funny because you think about it, that our business was related to people, helping people achieve their dreams and making them interact more. And we were thinking, okay, no, it's like a bank. What would we do there? And we were told to apply because one part of the accelerator was about actually achieving dreams. And we're like, yeah, that's us, true. And we got selected just because of being in the right place at the right time. Otherwise, we wouldn't have applied. So that's me and Daniel in the Nordic Accelerator. That was last autumn, spring. We learned a lot. One of the most important lessons were actually never to assume anything. In lean startup, you're supposed to validate. And that actually means that you make assumptions. Let's say you assume that everyone loves coffee. And then you actually go around asking people, do you love coffee? And then they'll tell you eventually, no, actually I like tea more. So that is a really simple way of validation. And it means that you actually make sure that is your assumption true. Because if you don't do that, this is what's going to happen. You actually make of an ass of you and me. It comes from the assume. So please don't do that. Never in anything. So don't assume what your customers want. Don't assume what your business partner is thinking. Ask it. Ask straight. So it might sound obvious, but I can tell you in Nordic we learned the hard way because we had a mentor and she was really nicely helping us all the time. And in the really, really end, we found out that actually she hates coaching and she's totally not interested in our cards. And we thought that she liked it. So don't assume. This is something related to this assuming. So I guess a lot of you have this or have heard, oh, the customer is always right. Have you heard it? Yeah, it might be true, but that's only true when you're asking about what is their problem. So what do you need to solve? And not when you're asking, would you like a red pullover? You should ask instead, are you cold? And do you need a pullover? So yeah, that means ask your customer about the problems, not the features. So the red is a feature, and the cold is like, okay, so are you actually cold or not? And of course, we started the presentation with the tweeting. So go ahead, tweet this if you want. So I don't mind if you're looking at your phone. This is a normal way of doing presentations now. And of course, there are the hashtags and handles, or what are they called, that you need to know. Of course, you can use others. But this is a really important lesson that we learn. And I hope you can learn from it also. Then, this one is a bit different thing. There's another main thing we learned. And it's, how would I say it? It's about feedback. So when you're actually getting feedback, what we were told and learned after a while, it's not easy, is the sentence, shut up and listen. There is no such thing. When you're getting feedback, You shouldn't say, oh, but I wanted, no, I want this, no, I meant it like this. No. Meanwhile, you're getting feedback. Just listen. And you can say, oh, interesting, tell me more. And after the other one was giving you the feedback, then you can start at, oh, what about this? Would this work? Or so kind of like, once again, asking the problems. In that way, you connect with the customer in a deeper way, and you can actually go ahead and solve their problem. Otherwise, you are likely to make a product that no one wants. You think it's awesome, but the customer didn't need it. And that's not a good way to become successful. So yeah, this we also learned the hard way. Not the hard way, actually this we learned the nice way, because we listened to Nordea. They saw our cards. They were like, yeah, interesting game, sounds cool, but looks like a bit homemade. Because they were. So what we did is actually we made our awesome current cards. They look so much more professional. Still the same game. It just looks like real cards, that you can play with. And that's what we do. So our game is a coaching game where a group of people coach each other simultaneously. So you don't need a professional coach, and you help each other achieve your goals. Works really well for entrepreneurs, personal goals, anything you can imagine. And it doesn't matter even if someone has the personal goal and the other one has a business goal. Still works. And I can tell you more about the game in our booth there, or what would you call that? So this is where we are now. So if you're thinking about productization, we came from the self-made cards and then we upgraded. Still the same product, but now it looks great. And if you're thinking about the business, what we did actually, or where we started, so you remember I told you about the cafes. So we thought that these are games that of course cafes would want it, they would scream for that, yes please, sell it to us. So we had an awesome licensing model. Everyone is doing licenses. We were thinking, yeah, that's the best way of making business. I would say the prices are pretty cool. It's like you have a tiny cafe, only 30 euros per month. You can play as many times as you want. We promote you, and depending on the size, we made the pricing. And of course, those who come to play, for them, totally free. Right, isn't it? You know what? That didn't sell. We assumed that this sells. After some talking with customers, we found out that actually cafes don't want these kind of things. They don't need an event. They don't want to be organizing there. And so after a while, actually because of Nordea, we decided to drop the idea and concentrate on the players. So what can I say about that? As an entrepreneur, you started, you had a great idea, you're like, I'm gonna do this, it's gonna save the world. And after a year, you're like, I'm still gonna save the world, but the idea where we started it has changed. But be happy about it. Because when you change your idea, it means that you're actually validating the problem, you're concentrating on the problem and not the solution. Because when you concentrate on the solution, you might end up with a product that no one wants. When you're solving a real problem, you will always have customers. But it's good to know that, your first idea, likely to change 10 times before you get your first customer. And of course, you can do this. Then, actually, I have no idea how much time I have. My bad, I don't see any more clock. Let's see. But what happened during the accelerator was, so this is a coaching game, and usually when we talk to people, everyone was always asking, oh, what about the corporations? Can you do workshops for us? Can you do this? Can you do that? And we were like, yeah, sure, yeah, sounds good, of course. Even though our target was cafes, and how would I say it? Normal people, not corporations, but the people who are going to, who wanted to develop themselves and get to know other people. So that's me in one of these corporate style workshops. And once again, by trying out this, we learned something important, that it's not our thing. We were telling to Norda, yes, we could do that. And after maybe 2 months, I stopped. I'm like, okay, now we're doing something that I don't want anymore. It's not what we dreamed of. It's not our goal. So at some point we actually stopped and said, sorry, no, we don't do that. This is our thing. How about this? So it's kind of like we stick to the idea and then started negotiations with them in a way that, how about around this thing? Would you have a problem like this? And they actually said yes. So the teaching from that is actually, you need to love the problem, not the solution. That's what this really means. It actually means that you need to be enthusiastic about the problem you solve. So it doesn't mean that, how to say this, so that you actually passionately want to solve that problem. Either you have that issue, or someone you know, or you have actually recognized, look, people are hungry, maybe I'm going to start a restaurant. So that is one way of doing it. And because loving the solution means that you have come up with an idea, and you have the product, you have made it, and you're like, oh, this is awesome, and you're developing for several years, and after 3 years you're going to go bankrupt and no one wanted it. But when you're looking for a problem that needs to be solving, success is much more likely. Yeah, of course. What else? Tweeting about it. Then this is an important picture. It's not, I haven't drawn it, but this tells about how does it feel to be an entrepreneur. It's just like I told in the beginning, it's not as straightforward that everything is awesome and you're going to succeed overnight. It's more like this, that, you start like, yay, I'm going to start, I'm going to take over the world. And then you're not getting customers as fast as you imagined. Happened to us. Then, of course, you start having some customers, yay, this is awesome. So really, this, it's funny. It says on the internet, when they're showing these pictures, they're saying, the life of the entrepreneur in 1 week. I would say this might be in 1 day. So you might go through a total roller coaster. And it's being an entrepreneur is one of those things that you have really high highs. So, when things going great and you love the stuff you do, it's amazing. But be prepared that when it's not, you might be really, really low. But when you know that, it's easy to get back up there. And in these moments when you're having the really lows, it's actually, I would say, the best thing you can do is talk with people. And when you get to hear from others, no, but you're doing great, you start to actually think that, actually, true, yeah, it's not that horrible I thought. So it helps. It's a really good way of kind of keeping your motivation up. There's another thing that helps you with that. And maybe I would say the most important thing, especially as a startup entrepreneur, is know why you. So why are you doing it? Why did you start? What was your goal? Did you want to save the world? Do you want just money? It's or just you just want to be the cool kid wherever that I have a startup. It's what is your goal? And when you know that, and especially when you're not feeling that great, and you remember, oh yeah, true, I wanted to save the world, I'm gonna do this. You have the energy to do it and to take the 100 no's from the customers, because you know that 101 will say yes. And that's really important. At least, because when you're passionate about, people feel it. And they're more likely to become your customers because like, yeah, I like this stuff. Because imagine, the same way, if you try to sell someone, I have this boring clicker. I don't know if it helps your life, but whatever, please buy it. Or if hey, I have this awesome clicker. Did you know that the presentation is so much cooler and you can use laser things? Totally different thing. Maybe you wouldn't buy it anyway, but still, I hope you understand what I mean, that it's about the feeling. Then, one last thing. Actually, I'm going to check the clock because I have no idea what's the time. Great. So, the last one is kind of like similar as before. Focus on your happiness. Why is this important? Can anyone tell me? No one wants to talk. I know the feeling. You know how horrible I felt before coming up here? Like, oh my god, I have to talk. But I actually enjoy it. What I mean with this is, especially when you're having those days that this is not fun, you need to remember to relax. A lot, especially Finns, tend to be in a way that, oh, I'm a hard worker, entrepreneur, work the whole day and the whole night. Like, please don't do that. Have a social life, talk to people, go to spas, do what you love. And when you actually do what you love, especially if you choose your business based on what you love, you will become successful. So, any questions? I don't know if I was too short or too long, but please, any questions or comments or ideas? Oh yeah. There's one thing I want to do, especially I was telling you all the time that, yay, tweet this. I want a selfie with you. Then I'm gonna tweet it. So, are you up for a selfie? It's like, actually, come closer, or... No, it's okay. We can do it like this. Let's see. So, put up your best smile and, this power posing. Let's see. How can I get you in the picture? Please. So, ready? Perfect. Once again, smile. You guys are really quiet. Come on, say something. But thank you for this. No questions, no comments? Please.
So you said that you weren't doing corporate coaching and then you got away from the cafes. So are you now focusing on the cards or what are you doing?
Yes. So we are actually focusing on the cards and focusing on that whoever can buy. Today I have an offer, of course. So you can buy a pack of cards for 20 euros. And I can tell you more how to play, and there's instructions. And there's two ways of doing it. So either you play it privately with your friends, co-workers, whoever you want, or we have a site actually when you want to meet up strangers. Then you put it on our webpage that next Tuesday in my favorite bar at 6 o'clock, join, and then they can actually say attending. Then you can have a coaching session with total strangers. Any others, please?
Is this some kind of game that you can play repeatedly?
Yes.
And still the same interest?
Yes. Actually, we made sure that it doesn't get boring. So the rules are still the same, but it's based on a grow method. There's 4 main questions. But from all the 4 questions, we have 3 different varieties. Every time you play, it's random. So you kind of know what's going to happen, but still the questions are a bit different, and it makes you think that, oh yeah, it gives you different angles, and especially when you're playing with different people, they ask different stuff. So it's sort of different every time.
Do you have any strategy to protect your business in a sense that nobody can copy you?
That's a good question, and we've been talking, especially in the beginning, a lot about that. Our strategy is just to become famous faster than the others. Really, it is.
Did you consider a copyright or?
Yes. So yeah, we have considered, but haven't done that.
And you play the game by yourself, but you always need someone else to play with you.
That's a good question. So it's designed for 3 to 5 people. I have broken myself the rules by playing with 6. Then my friends are playing, only 2 of them. I haven't ever tried alone. But if you can have a conversation with yourself, sure. No, but it's the main question. So it's the coaching. So if you take the main questions and you're like, okay, so what is my goal today? What do I want to achieve? Then you go, what's the reality? Then you go through that, what is stopping you, what opportunities you have. And the last one is that, what are you going to do? Like real steps. So for example, oh, I promised next week I'm going to talk with this and this company. So basically you can. It's going to be really short, but it might motivate you.
I've been playing the game a couple of times and I've been liking it quite much. And I've been thinking it like it that you don't have to hire a professional coach and pay the money to the coach because you can take the game and it's like the product there. But my question is that, what is like what is your kind of biggest selling point?
That's a good question also. My driver is the previous slide, the happiness. I want to make people happier. I want them to actually concentrate on happiness. You know, with business life, everyone is talking about, you need to be professional. No, you really need to love what you do. And not only hobbies, it's like love your life. Because when you do that, it's contagious. People feel it. And because of that, you will be more successful in life. You might get a promotion or you have customers or something because they feel it. And when you become happier, everyone around you becomes happier. There's actually a study saying that if someone in your family is really happy, it's 20% more, you're 20% more happy just because of that. Because the person is like, yay, cool. And you get that part of it. So yeah, my goal is to make people happier. So we want to save the world. Thanks.
That's a good place to stop. Everybody be about happier. Thank you, Hajni. Very inspiring speech.